Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is going to be another diamond paint with me while I continue working on Treasure Studios art Cherry Blossom by Lizzie Falcon. And it will be a true crime story time as well, but we'll chat for a minute first. So, I'm feeling exponentially better. Yay. Still have, residual cough. But yesterday was the first day I did not take any cold medicine. So huge leaps and bounds there, right? Like all day. I didn't even take anything at night to sleep. So my job yesterday didn't start until 2 o'clock and I was done work by 5:30. So that was a decent day. And I was glad for the job to end because it was... terminology about like oil wells and stuff. It was tedious. It was tedious for sure. Today doesn't start until 1 o'clock. It's about 9:30 here. And so I have some time, and it's a case that we've had before. So, yeah. And then tomorrow doesn't start until 11. So this week has, all the jobs have started somewhat later. And so it's really nice when they start like that because it gives me time in the morning to get stuff done, like an extra video, like my scrapbook video yesterday. And things like that, and not feel so rushed. I think today I'm going to start walking on the treadmill again. I have not exercised in 2 weeks. So today was weigh-in, and I lost 0.6 still. And when I talked to Bill on the phone, he was like, hey, it's still something. I'm like, I know, it's still in the downward direction. But I do think one thing that's hindering my progress is I've been eating my dessert like really late at night. And I know there are some people that don't believe in the intermittent fasting. So I'm still going to really start today trying to abide by 12 to 8. That's my eating window. And there are people that say, well, no, you have to do, 20 hours fasting to really see results. But everyone's different. So I think getting back on the treadmill, I will, feel better. I mean, I was doing really well with that, with exercising. I really want to see a 1.6 something on the scale. Yeah. And I'm at right now 172.6. So I'm so close. 2.7 pounds away from seeing 169 something. And if I hit 169.5, that will be exactly 30 pounds lost. Let's fucking go! Let's go! Yeah. So getting there. And so for dinner last night, what did we have? Why can I never remember? I know I had some grapes. Yeah, no one's ever going to fucking debate me about fruit because I'm not overweight because I ate too much fucking fruit. Yeah, I had some grapes. What was the main course? We had hamburgers. And usually I'll eat hamburger just like the hamburger, not on bread. I actually ate it on 647 bread. I'm just going to not eat it on bread. It winds up becoming really soggy. No. But my dessert has started to be a little higher carb. Brookside. Is it Brookside? I think it's Brookside. And you can get them at Costco. They make these dark chocolate covered blueberries. For 12 of them, it's 20 carbs. Now, I'm of the mindset that I try to stay 100 carbs and lower. Like right around the 100 carb mark, because that was what I did for MetaFast, and that's doable for me. So believe it or not, if I portion out the 12 blueberries, 12 does not sound like a lot, but if you portion it out and I eat them slowly, I'm perfectly satisfied at the end of it. You know, you have to get over the brain hunger versus physical hunger, because a lot of it is brain hunger. It really is. So I've gotten into the habit at nighttime of stitching. I worked more on my piece last night. If you hear banging, our neighbors across the street have like put an entire addition on their house, and they're doing something every day over there. I've gotten into watching FlossTube again. I watched, oh my God, last night, Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. Something like that. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. But she had her mid-year whip parade. I bought so many damn patterns from what she showed. I'm like, oh my God. I have so much cross-stitch haul coming. It is insanity. It's like I was released from prison or something and just buying all the things, because I hadn't bought anything cross-stitch in a really, really long time. Well, I surely have made up for it. And last night we were sitting there and I forget what we were watching. And I said, I'm trying to amass or have the largest collection of cross-stitch patterns. And he goes, oh, you're doing a good job. Yeah, I've bought quite a bit. It's just exciting to get stuff in the mail and know that you have all these wonderful projects to stitch. Yeah. So I'm so glad that I am back into cross-stitch. Love it. Love it so much. So last night, like I said, I watched YouTube. I watched Bailey Sarian's newest video, which was actually really good. Love her. Totally love her. And then I watched 2 FlossTube videos, and then I went to bed. I finished my book this morning. Highly recommend Liv Constantine's Stranger in the Mirror. Very, very good. So now I've read 29 books for the year. I'm on track. I set a goal of 50 books. So now I need to find another book to read. So I may do that this morning. And that DMC chest needs to come in stock. Seriously, dude. I have to keep checking on the website to see on Lovecrafts to see if it comes in stock, because they won't email you. So yeah. But yeah, one thing which was quite disconcerting yesterday. So Bill and I don't have any debt. Okay? The only thing I have, we have one credit card that literally I'm just a user on. My name is not even physically on it, so it only gets reported on his credit report. I have a Kohl's charge card, which it only has a $600 limit. It's 25% interest, which I was like, Jesus Christ, why did I not realize that? So I had bought some clothes like a month ago. When I use the card, I'll pay it off the next month. I bought like $249 worth of clothes because, now get this. So I checked our credit report because we have savings accounts through Capital One. And in there, they do credit monitoring for free. It's like called Credit Wise or something like that. So I looked at our credit scores and I was like, why did my credit score drop by 64 points? Yeah, 64 points is quite significant. Because I had used the Kohl's card. Get this, you're going to love this. I had used the Kohl's card, and because it's only a $600 limit, and I used $249 of it, which I don't know what percentage that is, but it's almost half. They consider that a huge strike to your credit, using, 40% of your available credit. And when I told Bill, I was like, I'm closing that card. I'm closing it because, first of all, I can afford to close without it. And I told him, I said, this is going to sound insane, but I think I need to get like a regular credit card in my name, like a Capital One or a Visa or a MasterCard, something that's not a store card. Because, and he's like, well, I don't know if you're going to be able to, see, I don't know the ins and outs. Like, I contacted Kohl's, I closed the account, I paid it off. Will I recoup that 64 points back on my credit report? I was astounded. I'm like, why is my credit not excellent? Because I've paid my car off. We have no credit card debt. I have no debt. Zero. And why should you be penalized? Right? I don't get it. So yeah, my credit score is only like 700 now. Bill's is like 796. Like really good because excellent is like 750 to 850 or something like that. We were looking, he's like, well, what's the best score you can get? I think the best score is like 900, I think. And I'm like, we get so many credit card offers in the mail. I'm going to pay attention. I told him, I said, I'm going to pay attention to when they come in and I'm really going to look at the fine print and see if I can't get a credit card that maybe has, not that I'm going to be using it, but use it and then pay it off. Do you know what I mean? But have something that has a balance higher than $600. I couldn't get over it. I couldn't believe that having a piddly little $600 store credit card was going to hurt my credit. I was floored. Fucking floored. So I told him, I said, I'm going to be watching every month because I think they only update like your credit score like once a month on that site on Capital One. I'm going to be looking at it and paying attention because what the actual fuck? Like, you know, I've really worked hard over the past 15 years to get my credit to where it's at and to have no debt and all that because back when I was separated from my first husband and got divorced, I had to file bankruptcy. Yeah, it was not good. And bankruptcy in here stays on your credit report for 10 years. So that came off my credit report back in 2012. So, I mean, that's been like almost fucking another 10 years, right? Yeah, I'm like, it's sad. It's sad that you're penalized if you don't have a bunch of credit open. Like, because the card that we have, what's in Bill's name, and the reason, I don't know why we didn't put my name on it. First of all, it's only like 11% interest, which is really good for a credit card. And we have like a $25,000 available balance. The card is literally at zero. But because he has that much credit available to him, I don't know, that boosts your credit score. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's backwards, in my opinion. It truly is backwards. So I told him, I said, I'm going to be paying attention to credit card offers that come in the mail. Now, I realized, too, that applying for a credit card is probably going to lower my score. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm annoyed. I'm so annoyed with it. I'm hoping that by closing the card and all of that, when they report it to the credit bureau, that my score will at least go up to where it was, hopefully. Does anyone know anything about all of that? Like, it's so upsetting, seriously. But okay. I need to order some more coffee, and I think I'm going to order, one of my favorite K-Cups is the Starbucks French Roast. Like, I had bought coffee creamer, and see, that's where you get into a slippery slope also with carbs and calories creeping in. I was doing really well with just drinking 1 tablespoon, a half and half, which is like 10 calories and 1 carb. So you're basically almost drinking the coffee black. And the Starbucks French Roast, it actually tastes pretty good. It's not horrible. So I should have had Bill get those. They have those K-Cups at Costco. That's where I'd gotten them before. I need to write that up there. But yeah, I really like the Starbucks French Roast. I'd rather, and you know, it's about picking your battles too. Instead of wasting my carbs on like coffee creamer, I'd rather eat those dark chocolate covered blueberries at night. because 1 tablespoon of coffee creamer is 5 carbs. Now, I usually only drink 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day, but when you think about that being 10 carbs, that's crazy, right? Yeah. Okay. So today's story is Daphne Wright. And Daphne looks quite severe in the picture that they have here. So by any measure, this was a grisly murder. Oh boy, buckle up, people. The victim bludgeoned, suffocated, and dismembered, her body parts scattered over 2 states. Good night. But what made the case truly unique was the profile of the main participants. Get this. All of them were deaf women, 2 involved in a lesbian relationship, the 3rd trying to break them up. Wow. She would pay a dreadful price for that intervention, and what started with some nasty emails would end in cold-blooded murder. You know, you never know what is going to set somebody off, and I truly think that we are all capable of murder. Seriously. Oh, I wanted to say one little thing before I get further into the story, and I forgot. I'm actually doing something different on my nails now. I had been seeing this Facebook ad for this gel manicure, not like polish. There's stickers that are, it's partially cured gel polish. You put the sticker on, and then you cure it with a lamp. And I was like, I have to try it because I'm always so curious. And I saw the ad so many times. So there was it's called Vanity Table. It's Ohora, O-H-O-R-A, but Vanity Table is the company that sells it. And I even have it for your toes too. So this manicure is the gel manicure, and I really like it. I really like it. And it does. I mean, it gets hard on there. So the stickers are somewhat flexible, and I'm trying to perfect the way I put it on because you can't quite stretch it over your nail. Like I had to cut it with manicure scissors. I cut it as close to my nail as I could, and then when I cured it, I just filed the rest of it off. And then I'm like, okay, how am I getting this off of my nails? It's supposed to last 2 weeks. It's been a couple days. They look pretty good. They still look pretty good. And so I went on the website again today because I had only ordered like 2 sets of nails, and I wanted to look and see what else they had. Oh my God, they have some beautiful ones. So I ordered some more, but they have this top coat that you put on it and you're able to just peel the nails off. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I'll let you know about that. But I'm going to be honest. Ever since the whole debacle with my videos because of the Color Street link, I have become somewhat soured on buying my nail stuff from them. I'll admit it. I mean, I've spent a lot of money with that company. And I told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going to do some research because I still have like, my God, I still easily have 20 sets of Color Street nail strips. So I will use them. But I told him, I said, I want to find an alternative that I can purchase. And I used to do gel manicures a long time ago, before Color Street. That was what I used. And I love these. I have to say I'm quite impressed so far. So I will keep you updated on that. Okay, we need to switch colors here. Okay, so Daphne Wright had first met Sally Collins through the close-knit hearing-impaired community in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It is unclear whether Sally considered herself lesbian at the time of their initial meeting, but Daphne was kind and affectionate towards her, and before long, the 2 of them had become lovers. Okay, lovers. All right, what symbol? Let's do that one, which is 3861. So it was then that Sally realized that Daphne had a possessive streak and was prone to jealous outbursts. Oh boy. Jealousy is an awful, awful thing. When Daphne suggested that they move in together at the home of a friend of hers named Jackie Chesmore, she was apprehensive. Sally was apprehensive. Nonetheless, she did live with Daphne for a month before finding her own apartment in a building known within the Sioux Falls deaf community as the Deaf Apartments. Oh boy, okay. Oh, I didn't realize that this symbol is all up there too. Okay. It was while living there that she met the third player in this tragedy, another deaf woman named Darlene Vandergiesen. Ooh, that's quite a mouthful of a name. So Darlene was not gay, but she nonetheless liked Sally, and the two of them soon became friends. The relationship was entirely platonic, but that did not satisfy Daphne. She developed an intense jealousy towards Darlene, accusing her of trying to steal her girlfriend. Then, once it became clear that the accusation was unfounded, she confronted Darlene and suggested that she had been bad-mouthing her to Sally, trying to break them up. This too was denied, and Daphne then resorted to sending abusive emails, calling Darlene fat and ugly and warning her not to visit Sally. What are we, in 5th grade? Darlene, it seems, ignored these threats, which, you know, the kind of person I am, if someone was, I'm not good with conflict. Like, I would be really upset by that. That would bother me. Then on February 1st, 2006, there appeared to be a thawing of relations between the enemies. That was the day that Daphne sent Darlene an email asking if they could meet at a local Pizza Hut. She wanted to plan a Valentine's Day surprise for Sally, she said, and would appreciate Darlene's input. Okay. Darlene was surprised by the invitation, but nonetheless delighted at the opportunity to put all of the animosity to rest. She agreed to meet and drove to the restaurant that afternoon. She was never seen alive again. Jesus. Wow. 2 days after the meeting, Darlene Vandergiesen's father walked into a local police station and reported his daughter missing. A search was launched, and the police soon found Darlene's truck abandoned in the Pizza Hut parking lot. According to restaurant staff, it had been there for 2 days. Wow, okay. Darlene's house keys, purse, and identification were not found in the vehicle, which suggested 2 possibilities to investigators. Either the missing woman had simply gone off somewhere without telling anyone, or she had been abducted. So the second possibility did not bode well for her safety. Right? Obviously. Missing person investigations have changed beyond all recognition in the last decade, and this is due mainly to the prevalence of personal technology. We all have a cell phone, an iPad, a computer, and they're all tracking you. Yeah. Like it or not, we all leave traces of our activities and the places we visit, both online and in the physical world. Checking into Darlene's personal computer and cell phone messages, investigators soon became aware that the missing woman had been receiving abusive messages from a woman with the username Wendy. They'd started with a warning to Darlene, telling her to stay away from someone named Collins. And so one of the messages says, "Hi, this is Collins' lover. You know who I am, right? I'm very disappointed in you because you always visit Collins when I am not there. Enough, please. Thanks." So, okay. After that, the messages became increasingly abusive, if not outright threatening. The IP address led police to the Sioux Falls residence of Jackie Chesmore, the house where Daphne still lived. Daphne and Jackie were home when officers called and were asked to come down to the Sioux Falls Law Enforcement Center, which they did voluntarily. A sign language interpreter was then brought in to enable the officers to question Daphne. She initially denied sending the emails to Darlene, but changed her tune when informed that the police had copies of the correspondence and could link the messages to a specific IP address. Yeah, like, you're not getting away with that. Then Darlene finally admitted that she was Wendy and that she had sent the emails. She denied, however, that she had anything to do with Darlene's disappearance. Sus. No. Suspicious. Right? That was just the many of first lies. I've read that totally backwards. That was just the first of many lies that Darlene told that morning. Asked about her message to, Daphne. That was the first of many lies that Daphne told that morning. Asked about her message to Darlene, setting up a meeting at the Pizza Hut. Daphne initially denied making the appointment. Then she admitted she had done so, but said that she hadn't gone to the restaurant because her car was out of gas. Okay. Then she told a different version, saying that she had met Darlene in the parking lot and had spoken to her for about 5 minutes before they went their separate ways. They hadn't gone into the Pizza Hut, she said, because she did not have any money to buy a meal. The interview would continue in this way for over 2 hours, with Daphne telling one story and then telling another that contradicted the first. Yeah. Little side note here. If you are going to lie, you better fucking remember your lies. Like, no joke. Seriously. Eventually, at 12:54 p.m., she refused to say any more and asked for an attorney. By then, detectives were sure that she knew what had happened to Darlene and had obtained a search warrant for her car and home. Those searches were carried out while Daphne remained at the law enforcement center awaiting the arrival of her legal representative. They would firm up the theory that investigators were forming that Daphne had actually caused bodily harm to Darlene. Yeah, her name is the title of the story, so we know she did something quite untoward, right? The first clues emerged when crime scene investigators processed Daphne's vehicle and found reddish stains on the rear bumper that appeared to be blood. Dun, dun, dun. Subsequent DNA testing would match this to Darlene. But what had happened to the missing woman? One clue came from a hardware store receipt found in Daphne's bedroom. It was for an electric chainsaw and was dated February 3rd, 2006, 2 days after Darlene's disappearance. Good fucking night. A chainsaw? That reminded me of hunting for some reason. Bill, in addition to fishing, he has recently started getting into hunting, and so he's buying all the stuffs for it. He came to me last night and was like, "Do you mind if I buy a tree stand?" I'm like, "A tree stand? No, I don't mind, but please take someone out when you go out to use it for the first time. I don't want you getting hurt, please. Thanks." Like, good God, right? But it will keep him busy in the fall and winter. He needs to be busy. Yeah. Okay. Further ominous clues emerged when investigators got to work on the basement of the house where Daphne was staying. There they found a freshly painted section of floor and strange grooves in the concrete, which they believed may have been caused by the chainsaw. Oh my God, can you even imagine? A more detailed search found traces of blood, bone, and muscle tissue, which would be matched to Darlene's DNA. It was now clear from the evidence that Darlene had been dismembered in the basement using the chainsaw. Quite possibly, she had also been killed down there. On February 10th, 9 days after the murder, Daphne was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping. The day after Daphne's arrest, the police made their biggest breakthrough yet when they discovered Darlene's severed legs in a dumpster near Daphne's residence. Get out of here! And that was just the first of the grisly finds. The rest of the body would be found hacked to pieces. Oh my God, how do you even do that? How do you hack someone's body to pieces? Because you're a psychopath. The rest of the body would be found hacked to pieces at 2 different locations, a landfill outside of Sioux Falls and a roadside ditch in Minnesota, not far from the South Dakota border. Are you fucking kidding me? But even when confronted with photographs of the gruesome finds, Daphne refused to admit culpability. Stick to your fucking guns now, girl? Yeah, okay. It was left to homicide investigators to come up with a reconstruction of events based on the available evidence. Oy. They believed that Daphne had lured Darlene to the Pizza Hut on February 1st with the express intention of killing her. Really? Yeah, of course. When Darlene arrived, Daphne had invited her into her car so that they could talk about Sally's Valentine's Day surprise. Once inside the vehicle, they believed she struck Darlene on the head with a blunt object, leaving a 7-inch skull fracture. Jesus. She then pulled a plastic bag over her victim's head, pulling it tight and holding it in place as Darlene's struggle grew even weaker and she eventually stopped breathing. Darlene had died a slow and painful death. That I can't imagine what it feels like to suffocate. No. Daphne, though, had not thought the crime through to its conclusion. Dumb, as most people do. Committing the murder was the easy part. She now had a 200-pound body to dispose of and no idea of how to do it. Okay. First, she tried burning the body. Jesus, no! But it was quickly clear that that was not going to work. Dragging the corpse down into the basement was only a temporary solution. What she needed was a way to dismember it so that she could disperse the parts and thus hamper identification. A chainsaw would do the job, but there was a problem. She was flat broke and didn't have the means to purchase one. She'd have to wait 2 days until her Social Security check arrived, and in the meantime, the body would have to remain hidden downstairs. And starting to stink, I'm guessing. God. On February 3rd, Jackie, remember, she has a roommate. Daphne has a roommate. Jackie arrived home from work and found Daphne scrubbing the floor in the basement and then hauling an old carpet out to her car. A short while later, she saw Darlene carrying several Daphne carrying several heavy garbage bags and loading them into the back of her vehicle. She tried asking Daphne what she was doing, but Daphne simply ignored her and drove off. And her destination, according to what police can surmise, was the landfill where she would dump some of the body parts. These police must have had the search a wide fucking berth to be able to find all these body parts, right? So this was the story presented by the prosecution at trial, and it was a compelling one backed up by forensic evidence, by computer and cell phone transcripts, and by the testimony of Jackie. Yeah. The defense response was the ludicrous claim that the forensics were not compelling. Dude, come on now. They also offered a more valid point that the police had focused all of their investigative effort on Daphne and had not bothered to pursue other suspects. Like who? Who's the other suspects? The defense also built a fallback position for itself, arguing that Daphne was not eligible for the death penalty because of her disability. Remember, she's deaf. The judge denied the motion. But the state would not get the death penalty that it wanted for Daphne. Jurors often shy away from sending a woman to death row, and it was also in this case. In the end, Daphne was found guilty of premeditated murder and aggravated kidnapping and was sentenced to concurrent life sentences. Subsequent appeals have all been denied. So she will die. She will die in prison. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Every story is a doozy, right? Every story is somebody committing a horrific, horrible act against another person. That's why, crime is never going to stop. People are never going to stop being insanely jealous. So I will be able to continue this true crime series probably into infinity, right? Yeah, like I said, I'll be 80 years old doing YouTube, doing true crime and diamond painting. Who knows what crafts are going to come out in the next 35 years, right? It's exciting though, isn't it? Okay. We always end on a positive affirmation. And can I tell you, I will be so glad when I have this section done. I normally do not get to diamond paint past the video, although I may sit here and I may complete this part since I already have these out. I'll be so glad when I can move this up and get to the next row because I only have 2 rows left and I'll be done this. Hello. Then we can get to something else. Yes. Okay. We always end on a positive affirmation from A Year of Positive Thinking by Cindy Spiegel. So today is Thursday, July 29th. We are at the end of the month. I'm so glad it's Thursday. I have a massage on Saturday. Thank God I did not have a massage last week because I would have had to cancel that motherfucker. Yeah. All right, so this one is also short, and it says, don't forget your dreams. Allow your dreams to blossom and get out of your own way. We do stand in our own way a lot. Repeat to yourself, today I grant myself permission to dream. You can dream whatever you want to. Nothing is too fantastical or impossible. And you know what? I heard a saying the other day and I absolutely loved it. So I don't know where, I think I saw the quote on Facebook or Instagram. It said something like this. Nothing is impossible. The impossible just takes longer. Don't you love that? I love that because have you seen the things that people have been able to accomplish in the face of like daunting circumstances? You know, I see people who have lost limbs completing these marathons and all this stuff. And I'm like, my ass should never be bitching about walking on the treadmill because I have all my limbs. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are capable of so much more than we give ourselves credit for. So go out there and dream big, people. I still have a dream of being able to do this full time, of being able to quit my job. I would have to have a whole lot more subscribers, but the dream is there. That dream will never die because you never know truly where your channel or whatever endeavor you're doing, where it's going to take you. Anything is possible. So go forth and prosper, right? I hope you guys all have a fantastic Thursday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.